This is Joy Roland, and you are listening to the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 71, How to Get More Paid Clients. Welcome to Joyful Money, the podcast where we focus on making money the joyful way. We are done with the stress and anxiety that typically come with making money. We'll feature extraordinary and inspiring business owners who are making a huge impact by sharing their gifts and talents with the world. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea and let's go. Everybody, welcome to episode number 71 of the Joyful Money Podcast. I hope you're doing very well. We are in full swing of the summer here. I know it's just, at the time of this recording, it's June the 12th, and this podcast will be going live tomorrow, so just the day before. And I am so loving this. So, my daughter just had her first martial arts training yesterday, and like it was all full glam with the uniforms and like she was so excited, and even the trainer was very surprised that that was her first session because she was so good. Like she could do all of the moves, and oh god, it was so amazing watching her. I actually posted a snippet of the video on social media, so if you haven't seen it, just go on my Instagram or Facebook. You should see the reel. I love it so much. And I think that's what life is, right? The opportunity to make memories with people we love. Like that's the reason we do what we do. That's the reason why we are building businesses to become wealthy so that we buy back time. Like I love this concept of buying back time. So how do you buy back time? Well, as your business becomes more successful, you can pay people to do some of the work you do so that you buy back your time. So if you were just starting out your business, it could seem like um, there's not enough hours in the day because you do all the operations, all the marketing, the sales, the customer service, the coaching, the consulting, everything lies on you, right? When you first start out. And that's why many business owners give up early in their pursuits of success because they're so kind of disillusioned about how running a business works. Because on social media, you see all of these people with flashy lives and telling you that, well, when you run your business, you lie down by the beach all day. Okay. And then you come on, start your business, and it's the complete opposite. And then people quit. Okay, but here's the thing, it takes time. You have to give yourself time. And like I said, when you're starting out, you're going to be the one doing all the things. But as your business grows, you get to buy back your time, right? And how do you do that? By expanding your team, by letting go of control. And I have found that in many cases, letting go of control and delegating, hiring people into your business actually makes your business even more profitable. Like it does, on paper, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, how would you say, oh, as a business owner, letting go of all of the control would mean being more profitable? Well, that's exactly how it works. You have to start thinking of yourself as a CEO. So it could be that you start with a couple of VAs, right? And as you grow, you start to hire help and more people that will come into your business. And then you get to be the CEO. Okay. And that's the time, if you'd want to, you can go lie down on the beach. I wonder why anyone would want to do that, especially when you love the work you do. Like lying down by the beach for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like that's the fastest way to your grave. because I believe as humans, when we stretch ourselves, we evolve, and that's what makes life fun. That's what makes businesses fun, right? When we stretch ourselves and then we get to contribute, we get to use our brains to create solutions to business problems. Okay, so that's a bit of a segue from the topic of today, but I just felt like someone needed to hear that. So for today, I want to talk about how to get more paid clients. Now, the reason I chose this topic for today is because I had a couple of conversations with new clients, and this was one of the things that came up during our coaching sessions. How do I get more paid clients? And I'm going to give you my process. I'm going to give you my formula on how to make this happen. Now, before I dive in, I want to say this. I hear many people complaining and saying, oh, business is tough in 2024. Clients aren't signing up. The economy is bad. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that's just an excuse. Because I can tell you, I know many people who have made multiple six figures already in 2024. Okay, and we're just halfway through. People are signing clients. Okay, clients are buying. People are making sales. So if you're giving yourself that as an excuse, stop it. Okay, there are clients buying. So you need to make sure you check what you're telling yourself. Okay, because like I said in the last episode, what you tell yourself matters. If you tell yourself, okay, let's do this test. So these are, if you had these thoughts, the economy is bad, clients aren't signing, it's so difficult to sign clients. Okay, so if those are the thoughts you're thinking, can you tell me what feeling those thoughts will generate? Yeah, go ahead. What do you think when you think those thoughts? What feeling, what feelings do you feel in your body when you think those thoughts? This is my guess. You feel scarcity. You feel like there is no point putting in the effort. Okay? You give up and then you don't show up. You don't make offers. And what's the result? Yeah, surprise, surprise. You don't make any sales. Yes. So can you see that the thinking clients aren't signing up is creating the results of actually no clients signing up in your business? So these the example I just gave goes to illustrate how your thoughts are creating your results. Now, if on the other hand, if you think the thought, oh gosh, I love this time of the year. This is the best time of the year to make more sales. Clients are everywhere. People are willing to buy. When you think those thoughts, guess what feeling it creates in your body? You are empowered. You feel motivated. And then you go out and you make offers. You go out and you tell people about what you do. And what's the result? What's the result of that action? Well, you get more clients. So this is the thought model. The thought model says your thoughts create a feeling in your body. That feeling in your body drives the action you take, and then the actions you take ultimately determine your results. Okay? So, first of all, you need to check the thoughts you are allowing to run in the background of your mind subconsciously. And those thoughts are creating the reality of clients not signing up and you not making any sales. Okay, so here is my 7 step process. Yeah, I actually just created this process because I just thought about this and I just wrote down these points and somehow they ended up being 7 points. The first one is to determine what your customer journey map is. So surprising that many people don't know what this is. Well, this is a map of exactly how people go from strangers to paid clients in your business. You have to draw that journey map and say, how do people become paid clients in my business? How do they go from never knowing who Joy Roland is to becoming paid clients? You have to be able to map out that journey. Yes, this clarity is very, very important because if you don't have this defined, then it's almost like you're throwing spaghetti in the wall. You have to know how people go from strangers to becoming paid clients. For example, do people stumble on your podcast, then find you out, listen to you for a while, and then become paid clients? Or are you running Facebook ads to your lead magnet and then making offers via email? For example, when they get on your email list. So that's an example of mapping out exactly how people go from strangers to paid clients. Number two, you need to know your numbers. What is your conversion rate? What is the ratio of new leads coming into your business to paid clients? You need to know this number because this number will help you do income projection. So if you have a goal to earn $50,000 per month, you can do an income projection and say, okay, last month, the month of, this is June, month of May, clients that came, new leads that came into my business were 100. And out of that 100 people, 10 people became clients, became paid clients. Okay. So that's a ratio of 1 over 10, right? So you get 10 clients out of 100 leads. And so based on the value of your offer, you can do the projection and say, if I want to make 50,000 and let's say my offer is 10,000, right? I have a coaching offer for 10,000. I can make a projection and say, well, I need 5 new clients at 10,000 to get to my 50K goal per month. So if my ratio of clients to new leads is 1 over 10, then how many new leads do I need to expose my business to in order to hit my 50K goal? So I was so surprised when I asked this question to a client I was coaching this week. This was our first coaching session, and I said, "What is your conversion rate?" And she was clueless, right? And I'm like, "You have to know your numbers. If you have a goal of creating a hugely successful business, you have to know your numbers. Data is the currency of doing business today because data drives decisions. Okay. Okay, let's move on. And number three, I love this one. Are you selling the right thing? Many people are selling what people don't want. Marketing 101. You have to sell something people want. What do I mean? Well, there's a difference between painkillers and vitamin. If you have a terrible migraine, right? Let's say you're a business, you run a business. There are two business people. One person sells painkillers, another person sells vitamins, omega 3. Who do you think will make more sales? Yeah, the person who's selling the painkillers. Why? Because you don't need to educate them on their problem. I see many people who are in coaching businesses where they have to educate people about their problems. That is selling omega 3. That is selling vitamins. Can we as humans survive without vitamins? Yes. Many people don't take vitamins. But if someone has a toothache and cannot sleep and is driving them mad, do you think that I have to convince them about the benefit of taking a painkiller? No, they're going to say, yes, please. So, this is a wake up call to reevaluate your offer. Your what's the thing you are selling to people? What's the thing you are offering? What's the services you're offering? If your services are classed as multivitamins, then you're gonna definitely struggle. You're not gonna make as much money as people who sell painkillers. So here's an example. Painkiller. Um, if you're not making enough money in your business and somebody comes and say, I have a solution for you. Yes, that's a painkiller. If someone has been overweight all their adult life and have been struggling to lose weight and you have a solution, that's a painkiller, right? Here's an example of vitamin. Well, I will teach you how to, um, I'm trying to come up with an example. I will teach you how to craft a basket. I'll teach you how to craft a basket. I am an artist and I help people who want to learn art and I want to teach you how to craft a bamboo basket. I don't know why I'm laughing. Well, that's kind of a hobby, right? Like you have to then tell me, oh, well, this is a very good hobby to have. You're gonna explore your creative side. That's an example of a vitamin. So I want you to reevaluate your offer. And if you're selling the wrong thing, I think this is a good time to pivot. And there is no shame in that. Like the earlier you pivot into something that people need, the better for you. Okay, let's move on to number four. Number four is to stop relying on attraction marketing. Many people just post on social media. They tell me they post every day and they're hoping people will be attracted to their post. Yeah, like this is for real. Many people do this and they're like, oh, I'm just going to keep posting and then people will be attracted to my content and then I'm going to sign clients that way. And you want to make $1 million in your business. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it will take you long. Okay? Why? Well, because attraction marketing is passive. You have to adopt what I call value-based prospecting. Yes, value-based prospecting. And this type of marketing is actually active. You're taking an active action. Okay, so here's an example. When people used to prospect for gold, do you think if I was a prospect, well, if I was just someone who is interested in finding gold, if I just relied on attraction and just stood somewhere and said, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for gold to come to me," compare that to people who actually go prospecting, who take their metal detectors or whatever the equipment is and actually go into the fields to prospect for gold. Who do you think is most likely to be successful? Now, I know it feels like I'm giving tough love on this episode. I promise you, it's from a good place, right? Because I see many people struggling, and people are struggling in business because people are not willing to tell themselves the truth, or there are not many coaches out there who will tell you the truth. Okay? And my podcast is called Joyful Money. I want you to make money, but in a joyful way. Okay. So you have to be willing to get off your behind to go prospecting if you really want to make a lot of money. Okay? So do not rely on attraction marketing alone. Attraction marketing is a passive form. Okay. Number 5, you need to ask yourself these questions. Where do my clients hang out? What kind of questions are my clients asking? What are my clients' pain points? Now, until you answer these questions, it's going to be very difficult to meet your clients where they are at because you need to be able to find them in the first place. Here's an example. If, if I am in the health niche, for example, if I was a health coach, I would find Facebook groups where people have raised their hands to join because they're struggling with weight. So, for example, I would join Weight Watchers groups. In fact, there are tons of groups on Facebook, weight loss support groups. Find those groups and then kind of do some digging and say, what kind of questions are people asking in these groups? What are their pain points? Now you get to craft your solution to address those pain points. For example, if I'm struggling with my weight and my pain point is this, oh, I find it so boring to meal prep. And even when I meal prep, like it's so tiring to cook food for the entire family in a healthy way. My children love junk food, and I constantly am faced with temptation of foods that don't support my goal to lose weight. And I ask all of those questions in the Facebook group. And then, if you as a health coach comes and offers me a solution to address those pain points, guess what? I'll jump on it. So, you need to ask yourself those questions. Where do my clients hang out? What kind of questions are they asking? What are their pain points? Number 6 is to make an irresistible offer. You have to make an offer. Now, my coach, yes, I have a coach. My coach, Brooke Castillo, teaches us that you have to get results, right? You have to have measurable results. And she says it doesn't matter if they are positive or negative results, as long as you are getting results, that is data you can use in your business. So, for example, she says, when you do attraction marketing and you just create a post on social media, how can you measure the results of that? Measurable results is either a yes or a no, right? A yes or a no from a potential client, from a lead. So, how do you get a yes or a no? You get a yes or a no when you make a direct offer, which is, I can help you lose weight. This is my offer. Do you want it or no? And the person says yes or no. It doesn't matter whether they say yes or no, as long as you get a result, you get an answer. Okay. So this is why, and my coach doesn't like, well, she doesn't encourage us to only rely on attraction marketing. So if you sit on your ass and you say, well, I'm just going to post every day, how can you get measurable results from that? There is no direct response from someone to say yes or no because you have to make an offer. You have to make a direct offer. And that offer has to be irresistible. That's how you sign clients. And what is an example of an irresistible offer? I've talked many times about creating a Tesla and selling it for $10, right? If I had a Tesla, brand new Tesla, let's say I have 100, and I said each of these cars will cost you $10. Do you think people will take me up on the offer? Yes. If they didn't, I'm gonna ask them, are you crazy? Do you know what I'm offering you? Right? So here's a type of irresistible offer. Now, let's go back to the example of the health coach. I'm a health coach and I help people lose weight. How do I make an irresistible offer? I go and I say, well, I can help you lose £5 for free, guaranteed. Do you want my help? What? I'm gonna go, what? You can for free? Yes, please. Right? So that's an example of an irresistible offer. And my coach calls this value ahead of time. You have to have a strategy to give people value ahead of time because there are tons and tons of people trying to make money online. You have to differentiate yourself. And the way you differentiate yourself is to give people value ahead of time. And guess what? When you help me lose £5 for free and I have £100 to lose, what do you think is going to happen? Yes, I'm going to hire you. I'm going to say, yes, please. Right? So that's an example of an irresistible offer. The last point number 7, is my favorite. Leverage AI to speed up the process. Yes. All of this I have just said, like the process of moving someone who is a complete stranger to them becoming paid clients, you can leverage AI to speed up the process. Yes. And this is what is differentiating successful businesses from businesses who are struggling. AI is here to make our lives easier. And I have implemented this in my business, and this is what I now teach people how to do. How can you identify your ideal clients online, whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of the social platforms? How can you identify them using AI and then make them an irresistible offer and collect their responses? Yes, that's the power of AI. And AI, what AI does is just amplifies your capability, right? So if, for example, as a human being, if I can only do one client a day, I identify the clients, make sure they're asking the questions in those groups, for example, and then sending them my offer, right? Maybe in a day I can only do one or two. Guess what? AI can process 100 of those. That's the magic, my friends. And that's why I love AI so much. Yes, I've been an IT consultant and practitioner for over 20 years. So I geek out on AI. I love AI so much. I love how it makes my life a lot easier and it just speeds up my process. If you want to find out more about how AI can speed up your business results, just send me a DM, my friend. And here's my irresistible offer. Yes, I'm teaching you exactly what I implement. Here's my irresistible offer. I give you 2 days full on experience on how to leverage AI in your business. You come into my training, into my mastermind for 2 full days, and I'll help you teach you how to implement this. That's my irresistible offer. And guess what? That is exactly how I'm signing clients because I'm giving them value ahead of time. And when people come to my mastermind for free, obviously, and they're like, wow, actually, someone said on my website, I could actually pay you $2,000 for this free experience I just had. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You can go and check out the testimonials actually on my event page, right? So, trust me, my friend, I practice what I preach. And this is how you get to sign clients. You get to experience abundance by implementing these 7 steps. So let me go over them again to summarize. Number one, I said you have to define your customer journey map. This is how people go from strangers to paid clients. Number two, I said you have to know your numbers. You have to know your conversion rate. How many leads do you need to have to hit your goal? Number three, I asked you a question. I said, are you selling the right things? And I said, are you selling painkillers or are you selling multivitamin? Number four, I said, you need to stop relying on attraction marketing. Attraction marketing is passive. You need to focus on value based prospecting. Number five, I asked you three questions. I said, where do your clients hang out? What kind of questions are your clients asking? And what pain points do they have? Number six, you need to make an irresistible offer. Number seven, leverage AI to speed up the process. That's all I have for you today, my friends. I hope you took the tough love the right way. Like, my passion is to help people get results, right? And so when I see people just mucking about and faffing around, it gets on my nerves because I feel like you have the potential to create more abundance in your life, and all of the power, my friend, is in your hands. I hope you leverage what I've taught you today and you go out and you crush it. I cannot wait. If you have any questions based on what I just shared or comments, just send me a DM. I'm available on Instagram and Facebook. A number of you have contacted me on Instagram, and I just love how we chat and we just take the conversation to a whole new level. So I'm here to support you on your journey. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you back here, my friend, on the next episode. Hey, very quickly before you go, if this podcast inspired or encouraged you in any way, please leave us a review on Apple Podcast and share this with a friend. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate your kindness and generosity in doing this. We'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye bye.